Good morning, everyone. It is Tuesday. Hope everyone is doing well this morning. Morning, Mr. Nick, Mr. Michael, Mr. TC, Mr. Cliff, Mr. Keep It Scale Stupid, Mr. Pete. Hope all you Mr. Christopher. Hope you gentlemen are doing great this morning. What is going on this morning? How are your Tuesdays going so far? Mondays are always pretty boring for me. We've got a new processing job starting this week with my medical billing stuff I do. I'm not looking forward to that. It's like a temporary job for a couple of months that we picked up to process a bunch of documents. Normally I get to take breaks, long breaks. Like I might work 15 minutes out of every hour. Now I'll have to fill in that extra 45 minutes with busy work. Good morning, B. Shady. Morning, Steve. Nick said he had to take the show side off his XM24 and sand down the parts that are gypped too aggressive. Nice. Nice mod there, Mr. Nick. So far, so good. Yeah, it is 5 a.m. for you, huh, Cliff? All right. Let's see what's going on in my pockets. Well, my pockets, man. I can't recommend this knife highly enough. Whoever made this thing did a perfect job for 75 bucks. If it is properly cryo heat treated VG10, this might be the best value knife ever. It's got perfect hydraulic action. I mean, absolutely perfect. It's a good hefty weight. Like, I bet it's, what does this weigh? I bet it's 7 ounces. I haven't weighed it yet. Wow, it's only 5.5 ounces. All right, yeah. It feels heavier than it is. I was way off. 5.5. But man, this thing is nice. I don't know if y'all can tell that hydraulic drop, but it just maintains the same speed. Like whatever you drop it at, it just keeps that same speed the whole way. Perfect. But yeah, and I've put a mission in the Discord for someone to find the exact model of this knife. So I want to see the picture that they used to reproduce this knife. I found 2 models that have the exact same handles, but they have a different blade shape. So I challenge y'all to find this knife, the original, the actual one with this blade shape. Y'all are good at sleuthing. I'm going to put it out there to see if somebody can get a good screenshot of it. I'll even give you one better than that. My camera software, actually my camera firmware just updated right before the broadcast, so I was afraid I wasn't going to get on here. We're going to be able to get on here with the camera. There you go. A little bit better shot of it. Except for the... I'll even take off the chat for a minute. Morning, Robin. Morning, John. Whole crew's here this morning on Titanium Tuesday. Pete's already busy working, trying to listen and pop in when he can. But yeah, somebody find out the exact model and picture that came from. It is by David Mosier, Mosier. And I found two models with the same exact handle. One is called... I want to see the picture, Nick. Post a link. Oh, you're at work too, B Shady? Steve's working too. That's awesome. Only problem with Pete's work is he has to be talking to somebody. Phone, I don't know if I could deal with the phone. I just got off work, so I'm right there with you. I don't really feel like I'm relaxed off work yet, but we're getting there. Anyway, yeah, so I'll show you the two that I've got. Dang it, can't get the camera right. I need to zoom in one, I guess. Just move this out of the way or bring it into the picture. All right. Turn the chat box back on, I guess. Let's see. That's a widescreen today. We got room for lots of knives. You want a wee equivoc? Oh, that's awesome, William. Good morning, by the way, William. Wee equivoc. We will go look at that model in just a second, but I want to show you this. So here's one with the exact same handles, different blade shape. That one is called the Blackthorn. That's the Blackthorn. And this is the Trail. This one has the same exact handles. They might be a little smaller, but it's called the Trail Cutter. So I found the Trail Cutter and the Blackthorn that have the same exact milled handles. $75, John. Wee equivoc. Yeah, let's look it up. There's the two I've found so far. The Blackthorn with the same handle, different blade, and the Trail Cutter, same handle, different blade. And that's a good picture of the one I'm talking about. Awesome knife. Yeah, I'm not, I'm sure there's lots of people I could go ask. I was, wanting to do it by searching, find it myself. Where did you, oh yeah. He got to order a Evo last night, like he just said in the channel. Christopher did. John, you would like it a lot. I can tell you from experience on what you've gotten rid of and what you've kept. If you can get over the fact that it's got a fuller that's just a fuller and not meant to be used, you would love that knife. Because the thumb studs are perfect on it. I mean, the hydraulic shut on it, like, I don't know, man. It's just perfect. You can see that. I'm sure you can see that it just barely perfect. This Mosier right here, or this copy of a Mosier, I want to know which one they made a copy of, because I can't find it. I'm about to look up the I'm about to type in. I already got it where I can paste it. Where's the top? There's the blue and. Oh yeah, it's one of those ones. They have quite a few models that have the two-tone patterns. Wish they had a plain Jane one. Which version did you get, William? Did you get the blue one, black one? Yeah, that's the one I found too, Robin, but that's not it. That's the Blackthorn. That's the same picture I got right here. That's the same one I just showed. It's got a different blade. So the blade on this one is straight all the way down with a nice swedge all the way down, and this one has a clip point. Yeah, that's the one I found, and the other one is the Trail Cutter. Google search, Google Lens, I mean. Google Lens won't find it. William, do you know which color you got, buddy? There's a bunch of carbon fiber ones. I think, isn't there? There's a fat carbon with black. There's a fat carbon with gray and the Damasteel. And there's a carbon fiber with gray. Yeah, I looked at all the Recon 1. That's got a different milled handle. That's why I wanted to see the picture. Because, whenever they replicate a knife, you can find the model from where they looked it up. Maybe they had this one in hand. I don't know. Maybe this was a one-off and there are no pictures of the original. Blade looks a lot shorter on that one too. Yeah, it is. Yeah, that whole knife is a lot shorter. That's just a 7-inch knife. This thing's like 9 inches. Yeah, that one's like 7. Not 9, but it's a good 8. 8.5 probably. Let's see. It's 8. 8.3, 8.4, something like that. If that gives y'all any. What is that? I hate that Firefox line on the side of the screen. I don't know why it does that. Yeah, it probably is. Like, they got a hold of one. Somebody over there, some expat that ordered one. That lived over there in China. Somehow got one. I don't know. You can't ship knives into the country, so that's kind of weird. I don't know how they get anything they get. I guess where there's a will, there's a way. Anyway, if anybody does run across it, just know that I would like to know which exact model it is. But he does a lot. It seems like he went through a phase with this handle with a few other ones. So it probably was. Oh, he got the gray one? Yeah, that's the one I would pick if I had to pick one. That one right there. That's a nice knife, William. That's got a fuller that you can flick off of. Guarantee it. Maybe. I put a link, or no, maybe I didn't. Did I? No, I bought another one. Just to have because it's so nice. I might give it away eventually. But I bought a second one just like this one. They have 4 different versions. Oh, so in my pocket last night, I had this in my front pocket. I never even finished the beginning of the video. And I had this in my back pocket, which is my new Vero Isotope Mini. So another integral gets to go in the bag. And this thing is super nice too. It's number 192. Number 192. Such a nice knife. Perfect perfect size for 4 fingers. I mean, almost exactly with me. If I relax, it's right at 4 fingers. Yeah, I keep getting a Cloudflare error this morning on the way home from work too. I wondered what was going on. Mister, morning, sir. You had to walk home in the rain? Yeah, I'll show you a site that's down. Free movies. Full. www.1. So there you go. I was trying to watch a new comedy special on my way home. And this free movie site, freemoviesfull.com, is giving a cloud out of Atlanta. So, yeah, what do you got in your pockets? Did you say Amazon, mister? Wow. Well, Amazon's not down for me. Let's go look up a wee knife. Wow. It is down. So all their searching is down. Their main site is up, but some of their servers are down. That's pretty wild. So if you know the product, you might could find it, but searches don't seem to be working. All right. Some of the searches work. I don't know what's going on. All right, we got some knives to go over. Let's see. Pockets. The Overland, I think that's one that I want. Is that one of the... No, that's another company, I think. Yeah. Oh, wow. Can't look at it. Their server is down. No Overland Millet. Look at images. Yeah. They just made an Overland fixed blade, right? That's the one I want, is the Overland fixed blade. Yeah, Amazon just came up for me too, so it must be back up. A black Para 3 and an Axial Knives. We watched the shop tour of him using the of him showing the CNC, what are they called? Dang it. Not a carrier, but fixture. We watched him show all the fixtures for the new Overland fixed blade. That was a super cool video. There's the Alpine, though. If we can't find if the sight's down. Tri-State likes it. That video we watched was super cool. Overland knife fixture plate. What is their website? Yeah, it was the TJ Schwartz is who I was talking about. TJ Schwartz was who I was thinking about. They had a super cool video. Dang it. Yeah, TJ Schwartz. Where's that video? I want to find it now because it was super cool. Let's see. History. Manage history. Alright. I think it was probably in October. Come on, keyboard. What's going on with you? Dang. Here we go. We've looked at it a bunch. Wish I could find that YouTube video, though. It was pretty awesome. This is where he's talking about all the new fixtures he uses for his CNC. CNC machines. Let me see if their website works. And if they've got videos. Here we go. Nope. It's not one of these. Maybe it wasn't this. Let's see. Yeah, that's Zach in the Wild. What is Schwartz Knives? What is their YouTube? Alright, it's got to be on here. Yes, every single fixture we use.
Hey guys, TJ Schwartz here from Schwartz Knives. I get a lot of questions about fixtures. We make knives in the shop on various CNC equipment and hand equipment, and we have quite a few fixtures involved in doing it. And we've kind of reiterated a lot of these fixtures over the years, and they've culminated in our newest model, which is the Overland X. And I want to show you today every single fixture required to make this new knife. So before we go to the fixtures themselves, I want to show you the platform we're using for our fixtures, which is a Pearson MPS, mini pallet system. Huge fan of Pearson. We love Pearson in the shop. We are converting all fixtures to Pearson. We don't have all of them converted yet, but since running this system, it's taken over the shop. You can see Pearson work holding here. This is a pneumatic fixture block that is mounted into the machine and has a spring-loaded ball detent system in the middle. Now, it's got hardened pads here that are surface ground and locating pins. And when these balls engage in the bottom of our fixture pallet, it draws the fixture down onto these locating pins and onto these locating pads. And when you apply air pressure to the fixture, it will release the spring pressure on these balls, and allow you to take the pallet off. So I will show you that in a machine. As you can see in our X7, we have one base. We have one base in each machine. You have an airline coming in, routed from up here. I do have another video on the install of this, but this is just sort of a quick overview before we go into the fixtures themselves in case you missed that. There's an airline coming in that you can press a button which activates or deactivates the detent ball system to draw the pallets down. And without further ado, let's look at the pallets. Okay, here we go. All of the pallets we use to make an Overland X.
So we're going to watch just a few minutes of this again because it's a super cool video.
What we like about them, what we don't like about them, and maybe you can learn something because I found videos like this super helpful for us. And thank you all out there who have inspired a lot of ideas that have gone into these pallets and fixtures. It's been an awesome industry to be a part of, and I would love to pass that energy along. So this first fixture here is our tang fixture. That is the entire knife without a bevel, just perimeter machining, precision holes, chamfers, things like that. This is pre-heat treat. So a knife blank will come to us that has been water jet and surface ground. Water jet oversize, about 25 thousandths of an inch all the way around, and surface ground to the precise exact finished knife dimension. Now this first operation is to put precision holes in the blank. The blanks come in without holes, and we do that because water jet holes waste a lot of water jet time, and you still have to clean them up anyway. And anytime you pierce with a water jet, you're wasting time because the water jet has to stay stationary for quite some time to just pierce, and then it can start to move. So when you design fixtures, it's a good idea to have a minimum amount of holes on the water jet side if you can. And so we take that initial piece, that rough blank.
Yeah, he shows all the pieces.
Into this section. Now, style screws he goes in, obviously over and down, and then the blade gets clamped down. Then the machine comes in, drills and interpolates the precision holes. You can ream or interpolate, but we interpolate most times. And then over here, it machines the edge of the blade. So the portion of the perimeter that will eventually be the edge is machined to finish. And there's a good reason for that, and I will show you why. So after this op one, we have a water jet perimeter, a machined edge only, and 3 precision holes. That is the lanyard hole and our 2 bolt holes in the handle. So we go to op 2. Op 2 is where we can now bolt through these precision holes and locate with a pin in the lanyard hole. The lanyard here.
Yeah, so he locates it.
And then or in precision.
He comes out with the blanks.
Minimized as much as possible the further the pins are down on the blades.
He machines the outside edge and the
on
weight
both
relief
op 2
pocket.
and 3. We have a clamp over the edge of the knife. It demonstrates why we're machining the edge in op 1. Not just so we can have precision by pushing against this pin, but also because it allows us to do this clamp and fully reveal the perimeter of the knife. Now, anytime you do a partial machining job and then a second op that finishes it, you're going to have a seam no matter what. So the critical thing in designing a fixture is deciding where that seam is. We want the seam to be at corners, which is where the edge begins and ends. So if this is pre-machined and we machine the perimeter, you will never see that transition because that transition exists in the design inherently. So weight relayer, do this. We have the perimeter fully machined on this side. So again, these locations of these pins and the way this is designed is because you can avoid.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. And then
page. That's how it. So like the next, we're sort of stuck with that.
But he can do, but that's both op 1 and 2.
So you can see the shape inside.
He can do 2 of them on each tray.
Leave this. They go to heat treat. They're hardened. They come back, and we are ready for bevel grinding. So we have gone away from milling bevels, and we are now bevel grinding all of our bevels. We use a angled.
Yeah, look at the angle.
But also these pads where the blades sit are angled this way as well. So these are a compound angle. We actually had a shop with a 5-axis machine go ahead and machine these pallets for us. There are other ways to do it, but we found this to be the most efficient and effective for us. So the blade comes in. It's been heat treated. For clarity, this is what it looks like coming off the last fixture. You can see the chamfers, you can see the holes, you can see the pocket, the lanyard hole. This is what it would look like after this fixture. heat treated, comes in. We have another locating pin in the same manner that we did on the last. We have pins that are far apart, once again, as far as you can get them. So this pin is as far towards the tip as we can allow. And it rotates. You saw it rotate right up against that pin. We have a magnet at the tip, which helps with hold down. And the grinding wheel comes in. One more bolt right here that'll hold this down. The grinding wheel comes in, and it's a vertical mill. So the grinding wheel is not doing anything weird. It's just coming in straight down. And the heel of the grinding wheel right here grinds its way down. And what you get from that is something like this. And then
yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Flip it over. And on this side, you have a little bit of a different constraint, which is that on this side, the wheel puts a lot of down pressure. Usually in milling and end mill or whatever, will lift apart, and everything you're trying to do, like on this fixture, is about holding down. In this, the wheel is pushing down pretty much at all times. And so you don't have to put a lot of effort into hold down. What you have to actually do is prevent things from getting pushed down beyond where you'd like. And where that applies here is once you have a bevel on one side of the knife and you move to op 2, if you don't have something underneath it and you're trying to run relatively efficient feeds and speeds with that wheel, the blade will push because you obviously have that undercut and air underneath, and you will deflect the blade and you will get inconsistent edge thickness from the back to the front. The blade can be pushed down, and it does very strange things if you don't have support. So what we have is actually JB weld. It's the putty style, and we found it actually to be really reliable for doing this. You could 3D machine and insert, but it's never exact and requires a lot of messing around. So all we do is grind op 1, flip it to op 2 with some putty underneath it, let it harden there, and also have a magnet. So it's being held down by the magnet, it's being held up by the putty, and that will alleviate movement that you may see when grinding. So an interesting thing is,
yeah, that's pretty cool. And then he comes down and they make the handles
planer blades. So we found a company that
same
has a
way,
planer, either poor saw cutting,
and
gives us a lot, and quite a bit of study. The scale bin machine. So you can see this is something like what it would look like. So it's able, in this side, once these counterbores and chamfers have already been done, you can bolt it down. We've tried different ways.
And then then they make the sheaths.
Now we are onto the sheath fixture. This is a vacuum molding fixture. Lots of different things. Because your
vacuum molds the sheath.
To have a piece of HDP. Any little holes, a log, and it's really...
I want one.
Can use more of like locating pins. It just keeps the distortion low because magnets in it better fit in another.
Yep.
I know people are gonna be asking about the bevel grinding. That would be a cool thing. And yeah.
So I think he needs to do more videos, and I need to subscribe to him. And I need to remember to come back, and I guess he's got some new ones. Well, I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, he's got a sheath one.
Hey guys, TJ Schwartz here.
Guess we can watch some of this real quick.
Today I want
Since
to talk
I got to
about
make a sheath this week.
That is Kydex knife sheaths, vacuum formed, how to do it precisely, how to design them, at least how we do it. Multi-clip, striking that.
I don't want to see all this.
Kind of dry on it. It's like parchment paper, stuff you'd wrap meat with in the freezer or whatever.
All right, so he's heating it up.
Will stick to the hot plate if you don't have
he's using a vacuum plate.
Paper in between. And it's not wax paper. Wax paper will melt. It's parchment paper. There's a difference when it's done. And like, because it cools down a little bit away to the machine.
So he heats it up.
So you can see the really soft, melted, nearly melted Kydex going onto the mold. He started using this just heavy vise we had because he likes to be able to walk away to the machine while this is cooling down. And so it's kind of, you know, it works. You can sit here and hold it, or you can walk away and leave something heavy on it to keep the seal. But you saw he put kind of a picture frame around it that holds it down. And I'll show you that once it's cooled anymore. And so your vacuum starts to disappear and you can So here's, and you can see the definition of everything that we want out of that sheath. It's filleted into the two halves, of course. And we've got the rectangle and you can see the skirt that would seal underneath this when you put pressure. So here's our fixture. It's in a Tormach CNC mill. It wouldn't take much of a machine to do this. Even a router might pull it off. We like the precision of CNC machining after the fixture. The Kite surface. He's actually tapping it on there. And that will stretch the Kydex into its exact position where it was meant to be. Again, Kydex distorts a lot. It depends on the color and it depends on the temperature and all these different variables. So this has given us a really reliable, repeatable situation. Now he's also got a magnetic little U-shaped piece. There was 3 magnets in the fixture on each side.
All you need now is a vacuum
on
TC.
Each side of this.
Vacuum pump.
So you can see how it holds it down. And he's going to go ahead and hit cycle start for the first op. So we've just got a pretty standard end mill.
Great noises.
Go do 4 holes. And it did the 4 holes only because those 4 holes have threaded holes beneath them. So he's going to thread the bolts in. That's going to hold this in place so that when it perimeter
awesome.
machines each side. It's going to go do each and every hole. All the remaining.
Now it's going to do the perimeter.
The machine is now doing the perimeter.
That's pretty awesome. You could definitely do that with a home built CNC.
So we got the 2 pieces that have been vacuum molded and machined, and from here he's simply going to start pressing in. We like to construction when you have the right vacuum mold.
There's the little
right
pieces
fixture.
you were talking about
very
needing.
efficient and very
I was
precise.
talking about needing keep it scale stupid. Just got to press all those eyelets in.
So if you can imagine this cell, there's 2 stages back and forth, and we've kind of
all right
to make sure that something has.
I want to show y'all one more thing.
Flat disc. It's what we found works best.
I want to show y'all one thing, because you can do this on your own easily, and I want to show y'all Adam Savage's one that he made.
Utility, they're bad. Look at all that plastic because I was out of most of my sizes. I had some 60, but I had no white styrene left, and actually, I just.
But I want him to show. I want you to see this machine he made.
Ketuo, this last thousands of years. I've also made all of my mistakes on the job, and everything.
So he built this machine.
The kind of institutional knowledge. Pulled these different thick model kits. Explain heads is like forming out there.
This is not the video I was looking for where he shows his vacuum former. Here we go.
Hey everybody, Adam Savage here in my cave with a tooltip I am extremely excited about. Also, by the way, you might notice that this video is not being shot on a phone. No, a real camera is now filming me. Built 12 by 16 inch vacuum former that I built about 20 plus years ago while Fawn Davis and I were first putting together our little shops in the Mission and the Excelsior of San Francisco. And it's a great machine, but it took me a while to put together, requires some expertise. And I had to do it that way because the vacuum form machine I was copying to make this is both insanely rare, and when you can find it, it's often well over $1,000 still. The fact is, small, discrete, reasonably sized vacuum forming machines are still quite an expensive piece of kit for a new. I urge you to build your own vacuum forming machine, and you can build your own. But if you don't want to, there is finally a much less expensive solution, and I'm forming. I spoke quite highly of it. This is fine.
This isn't the one I want to see either.
And the results are pretty spectacular.
I want you to see his.
I've got a couple of pieces here of a build I'm working on, and they're great. It takes a while to heat up the first time.
Dang it.
Sometimes 5.
Why can't I find the right video? Oh, well. Maybe he built this one, and it automatically heats up the sheets.
Out and suck heat up because you're putting a hot piece of plastic on it. Don't use anything that could melt. I like using hydrocal for the vacuum buck. This leaves toast setting so that it had heat on the top and bottom.
I hate when I can't find a video I'm looking for, but this one will show you his machine. So it heats up.
Softness.
So right here,
and flexibility.
He's got a heater in the top of it.
All model kits.
And he clamps the piece of plastic in, and he raises it up to the heater.
Which just means that the model kits that you buy and this
and the heater in the top
glue together very beautifully. So I'm going to turn on the heater, and then we will put our two forms.
And whatever he wants to copy.
Now, there are some techniques you can use to make the plastic form better, and one of them is baby powder. If you put a little baby powder on your model before you pull it, it acts as a lubricant. It doesn't take much, and you can use other things besides baby powder. Cornstarch would also work beautifully. Take and rubber, use that. If you look under here, you can see that the 010 is quite flexible. I think I could pull this plastic right now. It is roughly axiomatic in vacuum forming that if you have a tall form, you want to let the plastic droop to the distance of that height. In my experience, that depends on the thickness of the plastic. So let's pull this one right now and see how we go. I'm gonna bring this down over top, and then we'll pull the vacuum. Oh, look at that! Look at all that detail. Oh, super cool. Right off the bat, I've got a cool lesson to show you, because you see these gussets? And there's one over here too. This is an artifact of the excess plastic meeting itself as it's pulling around the form. And there's a way to get rid of that, and I want to show it to you right now. I mean a way to get rid of it in the actual vacuum form. But it is also possible, if you've got one, to get rid of it after the fact. And I can explain that very quickly. So what you can do is you can actually cut this back with a razor until it's flush with the surface. With a little bit of CA glue on the back to support it, you can make a surface that you can easily sand and make just as smooth as the surrounding area. But what I'm going to show you is a way to not get those in the first place. Pop another piece in.
Yeah, vacuum forming is super cool for model making.
Turn the heater on.
And for just copying something.
Okay.
You want to make a copy of anything.
Again.
You can make an exact copy of a knife. Like just pull a mold around it.
It doesn't take much, but boy, those gusts. You have a glove, it's always plastic, and then I'll put the ring over the plastic, and then I'll pull the vacuum form. Pre-stretching the fabric, pre-stretching the plastic. And no, we're not quite there yet. Vacuum forming this light. For model, it can warm, it's thick, and end up with heat here. Oh, right. All right, let's pull this down. Are you ready? Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Pull, and I bring this down over, and then I pull the vacuum. See that? See around the edges there? I got nice and crisp. And, haha. Let's look at these together. So, as you can see, I got detail. I actually waited. This is the difference between pulling the vacuum right away and waiting an extra like 5 seconds for pulling the vacuum. Right away, extra 5 seconds. You can see that I've lost some of the detail there. So I want to try this one more time and go really, really quickly. In one. It is own and all right, I pulled that much faster. My helper still had some difficulty over here.
Anyway, vacuum forming is super cool, and you can make it Kydex. You can copy anything. All right. What else y'all been talking about while I've been watching videos? The new SPK knife, I think, was the next thing after the Overland. I think we have seen that knife. Somebody was talking about buying one. Maybe Pete. I don't know who it was. SPK Unlimited knife. Is it on his Instagram? That's Juvan. Brad. I don't know if they have one. Probably on their website then. Y'all got a link to it. We've been to the products and models. Do we know what it's called? The new SPK knife, anyone? Yeah, I like his high. I like some of the high vis knives. The Overland X, I think they had a model that I did like, actually. Did he have, which one was the, Yeah, I think I remember seeing his. Not seeing anything. Weird. That new little machine for vacuum forming he's got. Wonder how much little vacuum forming machine. Yeah, there's that little one. Amazon. $108. That's a little one though. You couldn't do much with that one. You couldn't even do a sheath. What the heck's up with the BBs? How much are these? The big ones. $3,000. Nice. I can't see any of the chat. Did anybody answer me about the SPK? Can y'all hear me? Just kidding. All right, something I wanted to do. Oh, that's the new like shape of the new SPK. Michael, yeah, I know a few of y'all are into models. I think some of that model stuff is super cool. Oh, I know what I wanted to do. So I got the isotope. I was wondering, so this one has the titanium inlay. So it's not really solid titanium. It's got a titanium inlay. And I was wondering what y'all would think about me putting a super good mirror polish on this titanium and showing how people how to do lightning ano again. I did a video back when I first started on how to do lightning ano, and we got good results. We did a clip, but I thought this insert, because I can always sand it back down and bead blast it back to normal. So I thought that inlay would be a great way to do lightning ano, and it would make my knife look one of a kind. And we could do the clip too, but I like the logo. But I almost think I want to do a cool horizontal pattern. So according to how you drop the titanium piece you're doing an entropic finish on, if you drop it vertically, then all the little lines will go across it. Because the reason it makes the little lightning lines is because it's cooling down as it hits the liquid. So the level of the liquid as it hits is what makes those little lightning anode lines. So if you dip it in sideways, then it'll make long ones along the whole length of the knife. And the slower you go, or the faster you dip it, the more lines you'll get. So if you don't want but a couple of lines, then you do it super fast so that it doesn't hit and cool at different layers. But if you want a bunch of lines, then you can just dip it real slow, and as it's going in, it'll make a line across there. So I think I want to do it horizontally, though, because I've seen some really cool ones with long patterns. And this inlay would be super easy to heat up evenly because it'll be the same thickness, whereas scales sometimes and clips, they'll heat at different rates because of how thick they are, and you have to kind of control the color you're getting it. But this inlay should be the same thickness all the way across, so it should heat up evenly. And you're basically heating it to whatever color you want it to be at the highest color. So it goes a gold, a blue, and then into a purple as you're heating it up. And whatever you stop at is where you're going to be your highest color, and then it'll as it cools, it'll give that little fade. But yeah, let me show you. So when I was first doing it, and I didn't know, I wasn't paying attention. I was just learning how, and I didn't, hold on just a second. Let me get this picture uploaded. I can't click around on my phone and talk at the same time. So I put the handles in. I hung the handles upside down. I put one of them in one way and I put one of them in the other way. And so it turned out looking like this. So this is what I'm talking about. Each one of those lines across there is how I was lowering it. So like these three lines right here. And I didn't heat them completely evenly. It's going to cool down some as it goes down. The faster you go in, the more solid color you're going to have. But this one I did vertically, but I hung one of them from up here at this end. So this is the hot end. And the other one I hung from this end. When you put them together, you know, it is what it is. But that was like the second time I'd ever done it. And I like the fade that goes from, and I said that wrong. I think it's blue, purple, then gold. I mean, gold, purple, then blue. It gets blue colored. But that was only the second one I'd done. That's a Max Ace Meerkat. And I don't know where I've still got that knife. Well, no, I sold that knife actually, I think. Let me see if I've got a picture of the other. I backed up my phone not long ago. And so I haven't moved all the pictures back to my phone. Oh yeah, here we go. This was the actual first one I did. And I used to buy little cheap, try to find the cheapest titanium knives that I could find to practice on. Sorry, I can't talk and click around on my phone. So I found these what are they called? Macala group 1s or something. Let's see. Well, you can't. You would have to boil ferric chloride. So the stuff you dip it down into is ferric chloride. So there's the first one I ever lightning anode. And here's the side with, here's one side with the holes in one, here's the clip side. They I did do them the right direction, and they turned out pretty good. But I've learned one of the main things about it is I've got a magnetic stirrer, mister. I've got a hot plate with a magnetic stirrer in it. I started to use that on the one video when we were going to do the black anode. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. I think I know where it is. Hold on. I don't know where my glass beakers are, but I've got a magnetic stirrer that you use for chemistry stuff. So what you do is you take this hot plate and dang it, my little this is a magnetic stirrer though. So you put a beaker on here and you got a little thing that you drop in there. It's made out of ceramic and it's a magnet. And this dial right here will make it spin. You can heat it up with this dial and spin it faster and faster with this dial. So I could put my ferric chloride on this and heat it up and spin it, but it would just make a vortex. Hold on just a second. Yeah, I have no idea where my glass beakers are right now. But wherever my glass beakers are is where my magnetic stirrer is. And I don't know where that's at. I'll find it sometime and we'll do a little experiment. He said to make it fizz. You're wanting to do too much, mister. Definitely wanted to do too much. Something I wanted to do though. Oh yeah. So back to this integral. I showed it yesterday with all my other integrals, and I left out 2 of them. So I got to find a home for this one. Although I kind of want to carry it today. But it can live up here next to this Wii for now, since the Wii is little. Mister's always wanting to do too much. I don't know. Yeah, you could put a bubbler in it for sure. I don't know what good that would do, but I've got these two integrals too that I don't keep in my integral bag. So I've got both of these Striders, the Evil Eyes. So there's two more that need to go in my integral bag. I built one of those for my, I built a waterfall for my crocodile tank one time, Nick. It was super cool. My crocodile tank behind my couch when I just got married, had in the corner, I took like a, I don't know if you've seen those plastic cat litter things that have a handle on them, but they're shaped kind of weird. They have a slanted side, and then they come up and they have the little opening for the cat litter to pour out of, but they're slanted and then they come down. Well, I built one of those and I cut holes all in it and positioned rocks to where I could pump. I could make a little fountain at the top that would overflow, and it ran down that little slanted part where I put rocks all over it. And it was in the corner of my crocodile tank. And it worked out really good, but making water features is cool. I'm actually about to run out of room in this cheap case. I'm gonna have to put all my integrals but for now, I guess I'll find a spot next to the smallest ones, like this Anthem, and hope it doesn't touch. Dang, I don't like that. That's why I didn't have them in here, I think, because I ran out of room. I've already got too many down there. How many integrals do I have at the moment? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. Huh. Well, since I showed you all my integrals yesterday, I thought I had two more that I would finish off the collection, and then I got one in the mail yesterday. I think if I was gonna, yeah, I had water in the bottom. I had goldfish and I had a turtle in there with them for a little while. I kept them so fed with goldfish, my two caimans. But I had about 6 inches of water. Well, no, they had more than that. But I built up a little island with gravel in one side of it, and the turtle could get in and out of the water. Yeah, I don't know. I like integrals. I need to get some more of them. These Evil Eyes ones are great. I mean, they feel like Striders because they're on washers, so they're not the greatest action, but I've got them both tuned about as best as I can. You pretty much have to, I mean, I think if you shook really hard, you could get them to close, but no point in it. This one's better than this one. I guess I'll put them back in the clones next to their other Strider buddies. I don't have room yet in that case, so what do? And I can't find the knife that I wanted to take apart. Oh, I had this in my back pocket too all night. In my left pocket, I still did. Till just now. And I have lost that Shiro knife. There it is. So this one I found out, I just hadn't tightened the pivot enough. That's why it was so guillotine. Only the clip side tightens. And I had to finally this morning, I had to get, the tool and I had to stick something through it like that to really crank it down. Yeah, I had 2 Caymans. I sold them. I gave them back to the place I bought them from when they both got about 3.5 feet long. One of them was about 4 feet long and one of them was about 3.5 feet long. But I fixed this one to where it has pretty much hydraulic action now too, instead of just that slam shut guillotine. And I can crank it down where it has terrible action, so you can tune this one great. But I got that one tuned to where it's better than it was. I like both of these, but I'm a bigger fan of this one right now. And I want Green Thorn to make one of these with the nice micro milling. And I'm sure they will. They've got to. I couldn't imagine seeing TC in those Cayman boots. I might have to clown a little. What are those? What are those? It'd be good if they were like red. That's how I picture them in my head, at least. They're colored red. Knowing him, they're purple. My purple Cayman boots. I haven't dropped any frames, Michael. I don't know why. I don't think it's my end. Cliff. No. No. Short answer is no. Because it's not really the same titanium. The stuff they call titanium or they coat it over, I don't think it would. I don't know how you would, I don't know what kind of pieces of metal. I guess it depends on how thick the coating is. But you can get clone knives. So about the cheapest fully titanium knife, I used to keep up with it. The Ontario Prime, Carter Prime, is one of the least inexpensive. You can get it for 31 bucks somewhere. Might be Atlantic Knife, Chicago Knife Works. And then there's the one that I was talking about on Amazon. I don't know. Assault Team, that's the one. This one right here is 40 bucks. Got holes in it, but you can still practice it. And then that HX Outdoors has those two for 29 bucks. They have these two. The Rock Sapphire, they got the button lock and the liner lock. So this one's $29.99. For real titanium, I think that's still the winner right now. You can get some clones for a little more than that. But I've actually got both of those, and they're already anodized. Let me see if I can find them real quick. I don't remember which case I put them in. In a weird case. I think it might be in this one right here. Hold on. Nope. Here's the Carter Prime, though. Hold on, I'll show you that in a second. Oh, now I think I remember where they might be. Maybe not. Nope. What in the heck did I do with them? Come on, Knives. Show yourself. Aha. No, no ha. Yeah, here we go. So here's those two. We just did a couple of easy blue and purple. We did a blurple one day on the stream. So here's the button lock one. And you can see the blurple on that one good. It's purple that direction and blue that way. Yeah, if you're doing entropic or heat ano, you might could get away with it, like I said, depending on how thick the coating was. Because all you got to do is heat it up with a torch. But yeah, if you're doing electrolysis on it, it would rust. It would rust the steel if it got to it. But these are the little $29.99 HX Outdoors ones. And they're both decent little knives. And I've got one of those assault team knives too somewhere. Got that one that I anoed. I've actually got one of those brand new in the box that I was going to do and give away as a giveaway. Yeah, it'll create corrosion around it real quick. Now I want to know what I did with that little. I've got a few random knives, and I don't know where I put them. That little assault team knife is one of them. I can't ever keep up with it. Oh my goodness. About had a whole pile of cases fall over. I don't know where they are. Oh well. Let's see. Yeah, love this knife. But here's the Carter Prime. Atlantic knife for somebody had these for like $31 at one point. So this would be a much better, bigger knife to get than these little HX Outdoors one for $30 to practice on. The thing about doing, ANO, if you're doing, if you're using electricity to do it, to practice like colors, all you have to do is put it in wink and start over. So you can practice on it as many times as you want to. Now, if you do entropic, you have to sand the heck out of it for a long time or bead blast it or something to go back to try it again. No, the steel will like lock itself in because of rust, mister. So it'll start speeding up the process of rust on steel, and it'll bubble, and everything will bind to it. So it picks up atoms and it picks up rust and it builds up a layer on it. So if you have a lock bar insert in, it'll lock it in because the steel gets a layer around it. I've got a headache this morning. I'm going to take some ibuprofen. I don't like the fact I've got a headache. I don't get headaches often. I almost feel like this is a little bit blood pressure related. But, you know, it is what it is. And I hate trying to swallow capsules with hot liquid. Yeah, it's not a caffeine headache. I've got my coffee. But all I've got is those little liquid gel looking thing, ibuprofens. The liquid filled. Yeah, I could get my tomahawk out, lower my blood pressure, huh? Yes, Steve L. I think if you type in right here, let's see. I'm sure they're sold out by now, but okay, maybe they weren't. No, they were down to like 30. I swear they were down to 31 bucks. Let me see where I bought mine. See if I can find the email. Carter Prime. I don't see it on here. I got it for 30 bucks though somewhere because it's in my knife spreadsheet. I paid 30 bucks for it. Ah, Chicago. That's where it was. I guarantee you. Oh. So they sold out of it. Knife deals. There's $39.99. I don't know. I'm sure they're not available for that anymore. Wherever I got it from for 30 bucks, they sold out real quick. Yeah, right here. There you go. Oh, it's still available. It shows it's still in cart. I mean, still available. Here you go. Y'all can't see what I was looking at, but I found it. It is on Chicago Knife Works. It's $31.79. Yeah, $31.79, and you can use a code on here too for something. Yeah, that's for full titanium knife. That's a good one to test on. I bead blasted the blade because I didn't like the dark blade. Whoops. So yeah, I didn't like the darker blade. But you can still see the Carter Prime at the right angle. And the D2. Good morning, Sever 7. There it is. You can see it right up there. I can see a little bit of it. And I put bearings in mine. They come on washers, but I figured out how to put some bearings in it, and it's got perfect action now. Yeah, I bead blasted the handles and the blade, I believe, on this one. That clip is terrible. I checked it out last night, and it is garbage. And it just does not feel as good as this knife. In quality, in comfort, it's thinner. I really like this knife. Let's see. What else y'all want to talk about this morning? Titanium Tuesday. A tomahawk. It could be Tomahawk Tuesday. Next week, we can do Tomahawk Tuesday. Michael, it's not really the placement as much as the size of it. Did you see how short it is? I mean, wow. Like, look at the difference. It's like a half clip. Pretty wild. It's like a little person clip. Little person. It's a kid's clip. No, it's a clip that does not work well. But it's innovative. Innovative. The placement actually would work good because of how wide this cutout is. Like, pants don't get stuck in there. It's just, you have to go down in there to begin with. If it was up flush, most clips are up flush on top of the scale. So you got to like dig in there, and it's super, since it's so short, the leverage, I mean, it doesn't flex. The shorter it is, the less it'll flex. So it doesn't flex enough. If they would have made it thinner right here where it flexed more, it wouldn't be as bad. It doesn't catch on your pants. It's just you can't get it down in there. Get it down in there. That's what she said. Let's see if there's anything else exciting going on that I've missed. I didn't look at Reddit at all last night. Knife Center pricing error. All right, this is something that applies to us. Due to a technical error, several Kaiser items were incorrectly priced on our website. For this reason, we will not be able to fulfill your order. $7.20 for a muskrat. I did not get that email yet, so I'm still holding off that I might actually get the ones I ordered. But there's the ones I showed y'all where I ordered the two. I'm going to check my emails now. I still don't have one. Oh, wait. Yes, I do. I figured we would get it on Monday, but we didn't get it till Tuesday. Wow. Yep. I told Andrew that we wouldn't be getting them. Here's the email I got. Thank you for your recent order. Your business is important. Ordered 2 Kaiser Azo trestle slip joints with DLC and black titanium handles with carbon fiber. $52. They were supposed to be $152 instead of $52. I knew they would. I had a feeling. I told Andrew that. Yeah, there was a bunch of knives on here. And I'm glad I checked Reddit because I missed the email yesterday. I was going to go looking for it because I knew they weren't going to honor it. Steel can be colored. You can color steel. You can heat color steel, and you can put a coating on it, like a powder coat. But anodization just Cliff. So the easiest way I can explain it to you is steel will rust. Okay? Steel rusts. Titanium does not rust. Titanium does not rust at all. So all ano is on titanium is oxidization layer that builds up on the outside of it. And according to, you can change its color, but it's just an oxidization layer. So it's like titanium's rust. That's the easiest way to explain it. It's a layer that builds up on titanium, whereas on steel, that layer that builds up is called rust. So titanium is special like that, where it does not rust, but you can ano it. And all you're doing is building up a layer on the outside of it, just like a layer of rust on steel. You can do some things with steel that you can't do with titanium the same way. And aluminum, you have to dye it. So aluminum is not the same as titanium, but aluminum doesn't rust either. And you can anodize aluminum, but you have to use a dye to get the colors. And you have to lock in the color with a sealer kind of process. But yeah, hopefully that layer thing helps explain it to you. And I don't know, we can do some experiments. I'll show you what happens. I'll put some metal in my little, I anodize so often that my little thing is right here that I dip stuff in. And my power supply is sitting right there. So I've literally got my leads and stuff right here. I've even got my little titanium wire to hang stuff on right here. This is what I dip it down in there with. And I've got some other pieces But you can see where the titanium wire itself has anodized down in there. High voltage greens and blues. See you later, Michael. Yeah, you need to use titanium wire because even the wire you use can't be metal. It can be, but you'll still have that little bit of a reaction like I was talking about. So titanium works the best to anodize titanium. I've got quite a few videos of us doing ano, black ano and all kinds of colors and lightning ano. Thursdays is when I try to do all the modding stuff. So go back and look at some of my older Thursday videos, and there's a lot of anodization on there. Cliff, you get bored sometime. And leave me a comment on the video so I know you watched it. And that'll help the algorithm. Well, I forgot to send this to Sever. Sever, I forgot to send this to you. I'm sure you're tore up about it. If you're still around. I think you said be right back a while ago, and I don't know if you ever came back. By the way, if y'all haven't, please smash the like button. Let's see if I can quickly... I can probably find videos a lot quicker than most people on my channel because it's my channel. Let's go to my channel and go to the live. And Thursdays, let's see. Some of the first Thursdays when I was trying to figure out that stuff to do, we went through quite a few mods. So let's see, the very first Thursday, how to Rit Die Knife Scales. Episode 3 was how to Rit Die Knife Scales. Wow. Watching my old episodes is pretty messed up.
Well, I'm walking, so it doesn't look so funny.
A knife case. All right, here we are.
And,
what am I doing?
Lines going.
Oh. I've already had them in the pan. Where did I put them in the pan? Oh, right here. I got them out.
The washers out of here.
I took them apart.
Where?
Oh, and I put them in the pan.
When you start to dye,
there's the eggplant.
The colors to remain consistent. So we're gonna go in there and clean those in just a second. I've got to try to figure out. Oh man. So if I
all right, so I take the.
I don't want to show. Yep.
Walking through my house. Hold on. So here we are. We wash them off really good.
Use Dawn. Dawn gets rid of grease really good.
And then I put them.
I'm gonna change the camera back real quick to.
I put them back in the. I put them in the boiling pan. There we go. Hold on.
All right. We're gonna take the
pan for the. That's eggplant.
We're gonna go put it on the stove burner.
Go put it on the burner. All right, here we go. So what I do is I bring it up to boil.
So I'm gonna turn.
And I let it boil for 10 minutes, and then I cut off the heat.
Here's 10 minutes.
And let it sit for another 10 minutes. And then I come back and I check on it.
And I'll take them
and I take
here.
I take it over to the sink. I rinse it off.
Stick to the. I rinse the majority off, and then I put some Dawn on my hand. Oh, I gotta refill my Dawn. All right. Put some Dawn on my hand, and I gently undo the wire. And undo the wire.
And anyway, I take it back and I assemble it.
Turn off this one. Now we're back. We're gonna leave the audio pretty close. Stereo mics, so I thought that might like be a better all-around mic.
So that's the eggplant purple color.
I got sitting here. Let's see if you can tell a big difference. Going back to the condenser mic right now. All right, so now I'm talking on the other mic.
So I take it and I put it back together.
Light hits it because of that color.
That's a
Yeah,
Kaiser.
Came out good. We will do a purple one at some point, and I will show you the difference. But this eggplant.
So that was how to. But go back and check out some of my Thursday episodes early. We did quite a bit of modding. I know I was going to look for anodization, and if I typed that in the search, it would pop up. But I was trying to find, and I tried to make the thumbnails match what we were doing in the video, but that got to be a chore. Let's see, a couple of new Kaisers. Titanium Thursday, learning how to.
Hope everybody's
right here,
doing well.
episode 14. So we're going to put this into multi-etch. And we're actually going to go ahead and put both pieces in the multi-etch. Because multi-etch with Wink, it only takes 2 or 3 seconds. There's my power supply. Set that at 73. And that's all you need to do. So we're ready to go. Than just dipping. But we will go over that when we get to that point. Something is going on because it is not working. Oh yeah, I mess up on camera, which is always good. My favorite thing. All right. Well, we've run in just a second. I had them plugged in the wrong place. We're going to take our second one. We're good to try again. Third time's a charm, right? So we're going to hook it. We're going to hook it in the back of the scale of the knife. I like using the opposite end of the pivot. We're going to take our positive. We're going to hook it to the end of the wire. And we are going to dip it down in here. And as you can see, instantly on the screen, the voltage started changing. And what we're trying to do is we're letting the amps keep going until they drop to 0. And I don't know if you can see down in there, but the colors are changing. It's going through a process. And like I said, this is the first time I've used TSP and multi-etch. I didn't like the TSP. We're going to let this amperage keep dropping. You can move it around in there to give it a little help, but we want it to keep going. So I let it sit there. There's the other one. Drop it down in here. But anyway, we're going to go back in again, which is fine. You can. But anyway, you can go back and watch that video, episode 14. Yeah, the power supplies, just make sure it goes up to 120 volts. So 120 volt DC power supply. They're all Chinese parts and they're all made from basically the same. So anywhere from $60 to $90 is about going to be all the same quality. Don't get one that goes up to 30. Get one that goes up to 120 volts and it'll say 0 to 120, 0 to 3 amps. That's basically like the one I've got. Mine goes up to 3 amps. So for about $80, just 0 to 120 DC power supply. And, you know, as you get better, I've got a power supply that I use to charge my lithium-ion battery banks that I built. It's like one of these 0 to 30 and all the way up to 10 amps because you need more amps when you're charging. So I've got one of these that I don't even use hardly much anymore, but you wouldn't be able to do much anode with it because it only goes up to 30 volts. But just make sure that you get one that says 0 to 120, not 0 to 30 or 0 to 50. Because these are made to charge like, you know, solar batteries, 24 volt, or batteries that you build. And the way, if you don't want to have to buy a power supply, you can do it by 9 volt. You can link 9 volt batteries together. So you can take and plug them together just like this. And you can get any combination of 9 volts. So you can get a 9 volt anode, a 18 volt anode, 27, you know, etc. So the cool part about it is if you go to Titanium Anodization color chart, there's one that's at Oakley Forum. Here, I'll throw it up there. There's the color chart. But right here, so you can get a gold, a purple, a blue. So you can get 9 volts, 18 volts, 27 volts. You can get a green. You can get another gold. And two different tones of gold. And you can get a magenta, 63 volt. 72 volts would be another blurple. So if you took, you know, if you took 9 volts and plugged them together, you could get blurple. Yeah, it might be, but back in the day, you know, if you have a bunch laying around or you have access to some 9 volts, but I totally agree, buying the 9 volts might be just as expensive nowadays. But there's a 90 volt green that you could get with 10 9 volt batteries. 81. But yeah, you can just link them together and you hook your leads to the positive and negative at the end. And you can anode stuff. And you can also use like I've done a video on this too, but you can use cotton swabs to draw different colors on and make patterns. So look up a video on YouTube called Camo Pattern Anodization Titanium. And there's a cool video. There's a few cool videos that a guy shows. Trying to think how to find it on here. Hold on. Trying to find a good little quick video to show you how you can touch it with cotton. So you can either bring the whole thing with anode is you can either bring the titanium to the liquid or you can bring the liquid to the titanium. So the way I was doing it was I was dropping the titanium in the liquid. But you can reverse that process and just wet a cotton swab and touch the liquid to the titanium. And you just reverse your leads on it. camo pattern anodization. Let me see if I can. I know I've seen you can do a splash too. This video is really good to learn how to do splash ano, but there's all kinds of videos of people using cotton swabs. Just go find one and you'll see what I'm talking about. I'm sorry I can't find one right at this second. But like I said, you can either anodize by dipping the titanium in the liquid or touching the liquid to the titanium. It's two different ways. So you can basically paint it on using a cotton swab or a Q-tip. So you can even draw stuff with a Q-tip. And this is a cool video watching all the colors change.
Okay, quick lesson on titanium anodizing. We have a specific voltage set for a specific color and a color range. You can see it passing through the colors as it goes up to that voltage. The liquid has current flowing through it. There is a plate with the negative going to the liquid, and then the positive is connected to the tweezers holding the part. So the current is able to flow through the part, and as it shifts up through the spectrum, you get the desired color. We are going for magenta. And now you're looking at 2 completed titanium scales for a pocket knife. Custom.
There you go. Yeah, this splash ano is really good. That video I showed you, the ballast song that the guy does. This video right here is a really good video on how to
So you notice
on how
I
to
got
do
3 really awesome titanium ballast songs here that all have custom ano. Now I did all these myself, and today we did another one. This is the Trap Code by NRB Knives. I previously did an unboxing and review of this. I love this knife. It's a very budget-friendly, I guess you could say, titanium ballast song.
Yeah, go check that video out. You'll learn a lot from watching that video. All right, guys, my alarm just went off, which means I got something I got to do, which means I got to start winding this one down. Yeah, there's all kinds of videos with people using cotton and cotton swabs, and I need to show y'all a video and do some cool pattern on there. I need to make some stencils with my Cricut, stick on there, and do some cool patterns. Well, all right, guys. Hope y'all have a great Tuesday. Join the Discord if you haven't. Come join us in there. We talk stuff like this all the time. There's a modding channel in the Discord, and I like talking mod stuff. So yeah, come join us there. What else? Tomorrow's my day off. I'm going to try to get the sheath fully prepared to make on Thursday, so we can get that out of the way and be done with the fixed blade and move on to some other modding stuff. Yeah, that's funny. I've got a whole pile of stencils that I bought with some cool, like, Indian mandala patterns and all kinds of stuff that I haven't used yet that would look really cool. I've got a whole pack of like 100 of these. Dang it. Where are they? I don't know where they are, but I've got like a pack of like 100 of these little plastic stencils. And so you can lay this across a knife and then paint with fingernail polish. And wherever you have it, you can make it a different color than everything else. So I've got some really cool patterns that I could throw on. So we ought to try doing that one day. I've got 100 of these though. Like they're all cool patterns too. And you can buy those on Amazon if you really want to get into Anno and make some cool patterns. I have no idea what I did with that big stack of them. I thought they were right around here somewhere, but that's stuff everywhere. All right, guys. I appreciate each and every single one of you. Hope you have a great Tuesday. Tomorrow's my day off. We will talk knives. I'm supposed to get my, I think I'm getting another knife today. No, I'm not. My isotope. Well, good deal, Steve. I want to see. You need to post it in the Discord and let us see what all you do. I love seeing mods. Anyway, guys, love y'all. See y'all tomorrow.